One of the last things before MOT was left on the Mini is to just give it a good clean. And as I pulled the liner on the boot, there was loads of water here sitting, so I pulled the banks out to let water go down. The carpet thing, liner, was soaked, and that explained that sort of like a musty smell in the vehicle. Now I'm suspecting probably these doors are leaking in, so what I'm going to do is remove the door liner so I can have full access to the panel, drop the back seats down, and I'm expecting some rain soon, so hopefully I'll find the leak. After removing these 6 screws, there have been 1, 2, 3, and same on that side. I literally just pulled it down by these holding tabs and it unclipped these clips. Now it's got a bit of sound deadening. That's got some white stuff on it. That's a bit damp, cold, but not wet. And that side, the right hand side, is soaked. The upper bit is really soaked. So that is this bit here, and you can see some droplets there. So now again, if I turn the camera around, so that's how it usually sits. Got some droplets coming down. Got some markings coming down from this connection, from that connection, from there. It's a number plate light thing and little light shield. You can see line there. This side seems to be okay, but here we can see some run marks, and also above there, that's where it's wet. Now that wetness there could be just condensation that builds up, or it could be that these fixings, it's like lugs, plastic lugs, are leaking from this trim. So because possible water ingress points could be here, could be around this trim fixings, or could be fixings from this number plate light carrier shield thing. Ooh, that, where's camera? Right, that light bulb doesn't look very good. It's missing the lens on both sides. Just gonna break corrosion. Need to check bulbs because it's one of the MOT things, so I'll check them as well. And there also could be number plate screw fixing as well. There's one there. So we might need to take them bits off and put some sealant behind. Okay, I'll try that. I was waiting for rain and it didn't come, so I'm gonna improvise with a garden hose. So as you can see, remove that panel, and also remove this panel from the back here. Now that there is a fixing from the number plate light shield, and that there as well. Can't really see from here, but they're up there, fixings from the trim. So what I'm going to do is use a garden hose. An idea is, if I spray everything straight away, I will probably get water in, but I will not know where from. So idea is start spraying from the lower ends. So I'm going to start with fixings for the number plate. So we get number plate fixing there and here. So I'm letting a bit of water to go behind as well. Then hard to do it with one hand. Go inside and have a look. Nothing. I can't really see number plate fixings. There's one there. Let me see if I turn the flash on. Some old watermarks coming down past it. I can't see nothing fresh. Nothing fresh on it. So that might be alright. So let's try to go up higher. So I always start from the lower end and then gradually go section by section up higher. I mean, considering the amount of water inside, that might be enough, because I don't think it needs. And let's check that. Bingo! There you go. It's coming in actually on the light fitting on that side. And here it's coming on the fixing and the light fitting on this side. Right, okay, let's go a bit further up, because there might be more than one point of fingers. So now I'm going to try the trim as well. I'm trying to avoid the windscreen wiper arm spindle thingy, so just going to one side, going to other side here. Because when it rains, it actually does that, so if that makes water to get in, then that will be it. Let's check that. Oh. Right, there are no markings, any watermarks from up higher. So it could be top bit is okay. I'm going to try this section here as well. It's a windscreen wiper spindle. also can be real life as well. So I'm going to try them all one by one. Right. Anything up there? I think it is. Just get in fully. Yeah, that looks wet. It is. So it's coming in there as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's wet. Okay. And that's making that wet there. Okay, let's check the brake light as well. So far, fixings here. That light fitting there is letting in, and in here. So this little gasket here is letting water in. Okay, let's find another one. I mean, once the leaks are identified, all I have to do is just take it apart and put some sealant behind on the screw holes and wherever there is a hole. Obviously it wouldn't be a good idea to just go around and silicone up everything, because then any potential removal later on in life will be very hard to do. Right, get in. So that, if that leaks, that would let water somewhere behind these sections. Should have maybe removed that as well. It's definitely leaking down here. But the weird thing is, if it's leaking down there, it should go down on the bottom of the door, which it does. How does it get in here? Obviously it drips now because there is no liner there. And this liner sits sort of over this, on this side of it, on this side of the rubber gasket, and then it goes down between the rubber gasket and the liner and drips on the lower trim that is basically below the gasket, like that, and then it goes from the liner onto gasket onto this lower trim, and then down here, and then just finding a way trickling down. Yeah, so definitely if I take a bit of dry tissue, that's dry tissue, just you can see how it's just absorbing water. That's the water that's coming from there, from the spindle. Okay, now it's going to be taking all that apart, drying it out, and then putting some sealant on odd places here and there, and then try. winter is coming, we're gonna have plenty of weather to test. Just noticed another couple of droplets on the left hand side there on the gasket, and actually on the right hand side as well. So far, number plate light thing, spindle here, and door gasket left and right. Right, I sorted door gasket leak. What I did, I brought the door closer in by releasing these two bolts here, T30 Torx, and then shifting the lock further in and resecuring that. And then on the door itself you got these bump stops. I screw them in a couple turns, so allows the door, when that bump stop closes, it hits this point here, so allows the door to actually be closed further in and tighter against this gasket, because gasket is still there, it's flexible, it's not broken, it's not torn up, it's just compressed a bit more than what it was 19 years ago. So obviously all this water now is when I open the door, so now the whole door closes closer to the gasket. So that, and I just tested it, and that stopped that leak. Now also been spraying around the top, around the brake light. Brake light is in there, you can see it just about, and I would expect that if it leaks there, it would come out somewhere here or down this side, and that's all dry, so that's all good. So to remove this cover, you got, oops, T20 bit and 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before removing the shield, there's a cable there, oops, with a connector, needs to be pulled out. That is for the latch button. And here is disconnected, had to use 2 hands, it literally just pulls out. Now we can proceed with unscrewing number plate light cover. You can see where the dirt has collected, and the dirt is actually showing where the water is coming in. So if dirt can come in, water can come in as well. And it all happened because this gasket, it's got like a rubber gasket behind it, has perished over the time. I'm not sure if you can get replacement gasket for it, but I'm gonna try to do something slightly different. I'm gonna clean it all up, wash it all out, and then I'm gonna apply a bit of clear silicone to upper line of this and let it dry out, let it go off. And that clear silicone bead is going to form a gasket like on the upper side. So when it goes back on and gets screwed on, it's going to compress and form a seal against this painted surface. And I believe that's going to work, and by applying silicone and letting it dry out, I'm not going to risk a problem where this is not going to be removable anymore. I'm not going to stick it on to the body of the car or to the boot. It's going to be acting just a gasket, just as a gasket. Little nail brush and water in the sink. And how much dirt is coming out. Crazy. I have to clean all this up before Mrs. finds out. So now I'm gonna apply even bit of silicone on the upper side. So from this side can't be seen. On that side there is a bit of silicone on upper zone. So I'm just going to leave that sealant to cure, to harden up, and it will act as a gasket. It doesn't have to be big, as long as it's done neatly along the top edge. Just going to neaten it up a little bit. There you go. Right, now next thing, whilst I cleaned this section here, and whilst our silicone is drying out, going to remove the rear screen wiper. So first, because you can see that nut is really rusty, I'm going to put some penetrant oil. I should have done that beforehand, so it sort of works in. Put a little tissue underneath. Right, let's leave it for 10-15 minutes. After a few minutes, have a go. Now, because you can see the whole thing is wobbly, hold with one hand wiper end here, and then with the other hand nice and steady turn the spanner. I already did that, and now it's coming out all right. Couple turns one way, then return it, and then again. It's just to clean up the thread from any impurities, so it doesn't ruin the thread. Don't use impact drivers. Right, now we should be able to put some more penetrant around that edge there to try to penetrate in between the shaft, spindle, and this how would you call it, pressed in metal ring. You can see how rust is running off with penetrant. When you work on old cars, I mean, this is 19 years old, so this has been here 19 years, it's baked on. Unless you're ready to replace everything with new, just take it easy, take it slowly, be careful, bit of patience, you know, multiple different combination of different processes, as a bit of penetrant, bit of maybe tapping or something, heat. Obviously here you can't use heat because this spindle is plastic, it's made out of some kind of plastic, so you have to be fairly gentle with it. Right, whilst I left this penetrant to work in, I looked on Amazon to get the replacement blade, £6, entire arm with the blade, the whole thing, £11. So I decided to buy the complete thing, and I'm just gonna slice it off here, cut it off and release it. In the same time I got a new jet nozzle as well. So here is the replacement arm and the thingy, and here is replacement little, come on, jet nozzle. Now it's dark now because today is Monday after work, and yeah, I'm gonna try to get it done now. Just use the little buzz tool for wooden metal blade, cut out the plastic part, cut out aluminium part, and then just spread it open. That obviously it looks like it would not come out even if I sprayed for next 100 years penetrant in. So now it's clear. I'm going to try to get the motor out this way, which means disconnecting the hose, disconnecting the cable, and I got 1, 2, 3 10mm little bolts. So pinch and pull, squeeze and twist. I want to do it with this hand. Coming. Ouch, that's sharp. Find the sharp edge there. Right, okay. Now I'll need second hand to hold the motor so it doesn't drop down. Now once motor is out, I can carefully fold this grommet and push it out of the glass hole. Right, going onto the roof, and now I can clean up all that glass. Clean it all up and reinsert the grommet back in with some sealant. Now I've got a new grommet, but I think this one is still got enough flexibility on it. Yeah, I'll try with it. So basically that groove there where it goes around the glass, I'll put some sealant around that so when it goes in, you can't get any water through there. And I'll have to see what to do with a central hole. That is where this shaft, come on, where this shaft is going through, so it goes in like that. I mean, it's fairly tight there, so it should be okay. Should be okay. Just clean it all up, because rubber, especially when it's dirty, and it sort of loses flexibility. Yeah, let's clean up. I managed to clean up the grommet. I mean, I could have bought a new one. They're only like 7-8 quid, 10 quid maybe with delivery, but I think this one will be fine because it goes around this shaft here that's not the spindle that moves. Spindle that moves is actually inside of the shaft. So should seal okay. I could even put some sealant around there. I'm going to put sealant in this groove here that goes around the glass, so when it pops into glass it will, well, should seal up. So I just got standard clear silicone. I'm gonna do it. Here it is, excessive amount of silicone. So I'm gonna push it in with my finger into the groove and then feed it onto this hole here. Once it's on, just gonna remove excess of silicone, clean it up nicely, and put everything back together. Just gonna check on the inside. Yeah, there is nice bit of silicone on the inside. I'm gonna actually leave that, just gonna smooth it up with my finger, and I'm gonna leave that on there because that bit is gonna be covered by the trim, one of these trims. It goes across the back boot door, that's gonna cover it. Yeah, so also now I'm gonna put a bit of sealant around the inside of this hole here, so when I put motor on, that should then help sealing up around the shaft as well. Reconnect the hose, reconnect electrical wiring, now clean up excess of silicone from the shaft and outside. I'm gonna brush it off. Bit of Vaseline. Actually helps from corroding, and hopefully will be easier to remove it later on in life if ever needed. Now we got our new arm. Start nice and level. Turn it back on. Little jet back on, about there. Okay, so that's aiming about that angle there, so right in front of the wiper. Okay, cool. Now I need to put this trim back on with the lights. So I hope it can be seen. Got that bit of silicone sealant that has gone off now, dried out. So that's on the upper part of the trim. It's been put on yesterday and cured for 24 hours, a bit more than 24 hours, maybe 30 odd hours. So that's our new gasket. So I'll need two hands, one on outside holding this and one on the inside screwing this back on. Once put them screws back in, I can reconnect electrical connector here, which is for lights and, oops, come on, back there. It's for lights and for the lock. It's only one way around can go in. It's just hard to do it with one hand. Come on. Okay. Let's try the lock. It works. Good. That's connected. Now you can start putting all these things together, all the trims back together. They'll just go back same way. Just pop them in. Got these little clips, plastic clips, and these here as well. So it's just going to be a matter of feeding it back on one by one. And these little button fixings, they're great. You take a central part out, that little pin, and then just put a button in, take a pin, and tap the pin in the center. When you're removing it with a removal tool, you take a pin out and then you take a button out. So I got one this side. Try to find, there you go, hole is there. Ta-da! These pins are all in. This carpet is still a bit wet. It will dry. It will dry.